welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to discuss about setting up BRM, configurations. What are all the things that you need to follow to do the setup and to run it to bring it up and then use it basically. So you should decide the version. BRM has multiple versions right now. Currently, BRM 12 and 15 are the ones Oracle is supporting. So should choose one among them. And by the end of this year, support for BRM version 12 will be done. That means no more support. You should consider using BRM 15 version. That is the latest version for BRM. And so when you are trying to do a setup for BRM, you should do the sizing. Oracle has tools to do the sizing. It will ask some questionnaire. Based on the answers, it will provide the size for the server, including RAM, space needed, and so on. Once that is done, a business should decide whether to maintain the servers on-prem or in the cloud. On-prem means the servers will be somewhere in the data center that is owned by the business. So they should maintain all the servers like in a data center, and then Unix administration, network administration, data center administration. There will be so many things around the data center. So those are all will be taken care by the business. And when it comes to the cloud, cloud will be maintained by certain organizations. For example, if it is AWS, then Amazon will maintain that cloud. If it is Azure, then Microsoft will take care of that cloud. We just need to purchase the servers and VMs and so on. Similarly, Oracle has its own cloud called Oracle Cloud. So Oracle Cloud can be used to spin up to set up the BRM as well to set up and installation. Everything can be done in the Oracle Cloud as well. So that is about the cloud. BRM 12 version, 15 version, both can be used in the cloud as well. So the difference between on-prem and cloud is that both on-prem and cloud uh, are almost similar, but in the cloud there will be multiple parts that can be maintained. Kubernetes can be used, microservices can be implemented. So all the cloud concepts comes into the cloud. Otherwise, concept-wise, BRM functionality-wise, everything will be the same, including the patching and everything. It is going to remain the same on-prem as well as on the cloud. So there won't be any difference in terms of the application functionality, performance, and all those things when it comes to the on-prem and cloud. But if you know the concepts about the DevOps and pods and microservices, all those things, Kubernetes and all these things are part of the cloud architecture. So those will help up to some extent in the cloud for maintaining well of BRM. So that is about the installation. Once that is done, we just need to do some basic setup. I'm not discussing more about the customizations, capturing requirements and all those things. Just I'm discussing about the basic stuff that, in terms of if somebody would like to just do some development work, practice their development work, then these are all the things that they can plan to do. First one is service event map. There is a file called there is a file called service underscore event underscore map. That file need to be loaded by using a utility called pin load service map, something like that. So what will happen in that is that it will load the services and events. So basically, when we are trying to install BRM and use it, we should identify the list of services that we are going to offer to the end customers. For example, if it is in telecommunications, There will be voice service, data, SMS, MMS, these kind of services will be there in general. So those need to be defined as a service. And for the services, we should attach the events, monthly charges, one-time charges, usage. These kind of events should be attached to the service for each service and then load it. Once we load it into BRM, those will be available, those will be loaded into a config table, and the same will be available under the pricing. So there will be business configurations as well. By changing those configuration values, certain functionalities will be changed. For example, there will be business configurations, XML, as well as some configurations are there in the CM's pin.conf file, and so on. So all these things will change the behavior of the application. In another video, we will discuss in depth about some of the business configurations, important ones. So for now, we will discuss about overall stuff. Similarly, there will be a need of payment and tax setup. Though BRM has a utility called pin underscore collect, the pin underscore collect utility of BRM will send the flat file to the bank. There will be still certain mechanism need to be developed external to BRM to send the file to the bank and then receive it if it is ACH payments and so on. If we would like to process the credit cards, then it will be the similar process, but integrating BRM with a payment gateway will be much more beneficial. For example, Chase Payment Tech is supported by BRM out of the box, which can be used by using that payment gateway. All the payments across US and Canada can be collected. Similarly, Vertex is the another tax gateway that can be integrated with BRM, that is available out of the box. It can be used after setting up. Um, Flat taxation is also available in BRM. The tax codes, the tax percentages, those things need to be configured in a file called taxation map. So those things need to be configured. And then, of course, the payments, refunds, adjustments, those things will be available when we set up the BRM. Finally, the important thing is to define the pricing. So pricing is crucial, important to have to set it up first before we offer any services to the end customers. For example, we would like to offer a $30 monthly plan with unlimited voice, unlimited text, local unlimited calls, and so on. So then the corresponding pricing in BRM, those are called charge offers. So those need to be set up. Similar to charge offers, there will be discounts. Discount architecture is a little bit complex in BRM. There will be plenty of settings and configurations around the discounts. Those can be configured that will fulfill the purpose of any business while defining a discount. And similarly, for finance reporting and journaling, there will be general ledger ID that is called GLID. So those need to be set up. Similar, and then there is something called NCR. NCR stands for non-currency resource. So non-currency resources we need to define when we want to have certain kinds of freebies. Let's say the first 10 minutes will be free in a call, or first 1 minute will be free, or 1 GB in a month is free, and then it will be charged. So in those kind of freebie scenarios, we will configure and use NCR. NCR stands for non-currency resource. And then discount sharing and charge sharing, those are another concepts. So the data can be shared across the accounts and hierarchies. So those things are also available in the pricing. So These are not the only things, but these are the important and basic stuff that we need to set up in BRM. There will be zoning, and then zoning will be used for roaming call scenarios, and then time-based charges can be used. That is called time model. So let's say the call charge, uh, the calls made on a weekend will be charged differently from the calls made on the weekdays. So for those kind of scenarios, time model can be used. So let's take a look into the pricing. So how pricing can be defined in BRM is by using a tool called PDC. The initial versions of BRM from 7.0 to 7.5 or 7.4, there is a tool called Pricing Center. Uh, it's a it's a thin client, and then somebody, I mean, we need to install it on our local laptops, and you open it, it will connect to the server, and then we can do the pricing. Later on, from 7.5 version of BRM, Oracle developed a tool called PDC. PDC stands for Pricing Design Center. So Pricing Design Center is an application that is hosted on the WebLogic web server. We need to bring up the WebLogic web server, and then the PDC application will be accessible. So let me go to the VM. So I am in this location, and I'm going to start the WebLogic web server. So if you don't know what is WebLogic, nothing much to worry about it. You can just, yeah, WebLogic is a generic web server that can be used for to host any web application. So you can go through this documentation external, but nothing major. No need to learn in depth. Just need to know how to bring it up, how to start it, stop it, and how to view the logs, and what are all some of the configuration parameters available for what are some of the configuration parameters available for um for the WebLogic. So I'm spinning it up. It started. So you need to know how to read the log of the WebLogic. So these are some of the configuration parameters, uh, threshold value, and minimum, maximum memory for Java, uh, and then the mode of the WebLogic, the class path, after that Java version, which Java version we are using, JDK version, of course Java version is nothing but JDK, and then uh, the threads, the thread information, severity, critical, and all those things. So, so many things will be there in these logs. So if you know about WebLogic, you will know definitely about all these things, how to read it, and what it shows. But it is not important for us now. We are just going to directly look at the uh, PDC. So it says server state change to running. That means we can access the PDC application. So let me go to the PDC, and so just refresh the page, enter the details of PDC. One second, I'm going to find the details of the PDC. PDC. This is how the PDC looks like. Uh, you have web help portal here. If you click about help, it will display another documentation portal. And then on the left hand side, you can see offers, charge offer. Charge stands for the monthly recurring and all those things. One-time charges, usage charges, recurring charges, monthly or annual. So in BRM, the charges are defined based on the events. So let me show you. Those events are called cycle forward. Forward means the charge will be applied at the beginning of the billing period. Uh, Arrear means the bill will be applied at the end of the period. The charge will be applied at the end of the period. So there is cycle forward arrear as well. Um, so there is one time there is you know cancellation charges and all those things. So test let's say I'll put monthly $30 unlimited offer, unlimited voice offer. Let's say we do this. Then description, in the description we should say something. It's static. We can put any values here. That nothing. Voice is unlimited. Text unlimited. Monthly 30. No proration. Let's say no proration. Something like that. So for more clarity, let's say national calls. Let's say only national calls, right? Uh, and then what about the data? Let's say the data is let's say 10 GB per billing period, national. Okay, so type is so there are three things: item, subscription, and system. System, if we create a system offer, whenever we create an account and when we add a service, by default this offer will be attached to it. So it is very rare that will be used. Item is to define one-time kind of offers, like if we want to apply only to first time, like hardware charges and all those things. Subscription is the most widely used to apply the recurring based charges. So here comes the uh, services. So we can apply it at the account level, this offer. Since this is related to your voice service and all, so we can simply select one of the voice services, wireless voice or something like that. And in that we should another create another voice, text, and data. So let's say I'm going to do this only for voice. So text and data we will create separately, because we need to create one offer for each service, and then we can bundle them. That is called the bundle here, and multiple bundles can be added to a package. So here when we try to add a charge here, uh, so we can click on add charge. It will try to create a new charge. So it is a, let's say, recurring charge, because monthly $30 for voice. uh, so charge type is these are the options we have: annual, bi-monthly, daily, monthly, quarterly, and semi-annual. We can add let's say we want to add a weekly charge, then that comes as a customization. We need to customize BRM a little bit to add those charge type. Weekly or bi-weekly, those are all not available. So these are all the options that we have in BRM out of the box. The remaining we should do it customize. We should customize them. It is possible to customize. We'll see in another video. So currency is also important. We need to define the currency. So in BRM there will be two currencies: system currency and customer currency. So system currency is fixed. When we install BRM, we should uh, we should mention the system currency in the configuration, and then we cannot change it later. Uh, so customer currency, though it can be changed, there are certain rules that we need to follow when we try to change it. But those are not the scenarios in general for the telecom business. So we will always have one currency fixed for both the customer and for the system. So I'll say uh, just give a name for it: monthly voice of monthly voice charge, and this will be stopped charging once when we make it inactive or cancelled. So this is the default setting. We will keep it as this. And the taxes, we have three options: whether no taxes at all, or at the time of applying the charge. So this is a monthly cycle forward. So we are going to uh, we can either choose it computing at charge or at the time of billing. When we are generating the invoice and the bill, the tax code can be configured. So you can see the list of tax codes that is already defined can be here. So some these are static tax codes. If we have to integrate with another external taxation system, then those will be different. Similarly, cycle settings, advanced billing. So if we want to do in advance, then charge cycle fees. We have to mention charge cycle fees. So how many days in advance for the billing cycle we want to charge it. So that is this setting. Don't bill in it if we don't want to bill it in advance. Then the default setting is don't bill in advance. Cycle alignment. Alignment, either we should alignment with the billing or we should alignment with the purchase. That is something this setting. For example, let's say customer gets an invoice every month first, but one of the product that customer purchased is on 20th. So are we going to charge from this month 20th till next month 19th, or that is alignment with purchase, because customer purchased the service on 20th and we are going to charge every month for that service on 19th. So that is alignment with the purchase. Let's say we want to align with billing, then that charge will be applied from 20th till 31st, and then again from 1st to 1st the charge will be applied. So only for the first month it is going to apply for the partial period. That is with alignment with the billing. So alignment with the billing will give customer a clarity on how much they're being charged every month, rather than calculating charges based on the number of days in the month and so on. So certain charges get applied on 20th, some charges get applied on 25th. So it will be difficult for the customer to track from since when to when. Though the billing period will be displayed for each charge offer in the invoice, still one for the aligning with the billing will be more preferable for most of the customers. And then proration. So proration means if we purchase any offer during the middle of the cycle, then that middle of the cycle uh, will prorate will I mean, so proration means it will apply only for the remaining days in that in the billing cycle. So let's say we are here aligning alignment with billing, and we purchase the charge offer on 20th. Customer is going to receive an invoice on first. So when we apply proration, the charge will be applied from 20th till 31st. Only for those 11 days, the charges will be applied. It will not apply the charge for the entire month, which is $30 that we define here. So if we don't want to prorate, then the option is no charge. If something has happened, yeah. So if we don't want to prorate at all, then it is no charge. If we don't, if we, I mean, if we don't want to charge at all for that partial period, then no charge. Usually this will not be applicable. So if we want to apply the full charge, then we are going to select full charge. Even if the customer bought it only 5 days before their billing cycle, the full charge will be applied. And prorate. Prorate means it is going to uh, prorate means it is going to calculate only for the remaining days until the billing date comes. So that's the proration. So there are two settings: purchased middle of the cycle, cancelled middle of the cycle. So if it is cancelled, then what should happen? Then the proration will calculate. So these are some of the settings. And then when you click OK, you can see what should happen, either debit to the customer or credit. So we want to debit the customer. We want to charge $30, 30 US dollars. So that is the setting. And GLID, we need to define the GLIDs as we discussed in earlier. We need to define the GLIDs before the pricing. Uh, GLIDs, service event maps, NCRs, those things. So if we don't want to prorate, do not prorate. If we don't want to apply any kind of discount, then click on do not discount. So there are a few other settings as well called offer settings that you can see when to start it and what is the maximum that a customer can purchase. So this is 7.5 version of PDC. There are so many other changes, so many new features included in version BRM PDC version 12, PDC version 15. Uh, so so that you can you know go through those new features as well. It is important to learn about the new features. There are plenty of other features in BRM version 15. So validation, no errors found, then I can click on save. Uh, Once I click on save, finish it. Then there is something called sync PDC. So when I try to submit this, this will be saved in the workspace. Better to create a workspace name when you create a charge offers and so on, so that that change set can be exported to the other environments. So by default, this auto-generated workspace will be there. We if we click on validate, it will validate for all the changes as part of this change set, and then finally we can click on submit. So until we run the sync PDC and all, this will not be this will not be uh, saved in BRM. So so PDC has three utilities: sync PDC, BRE transformation, RRE transformation. You don't need to really know complete details of it, but just remember that these will help to sync the pricing between PDC and BRM. And then we really don't need to use the UI always to export this pricing into other environments like development environment, test environment, UAT environment, and then production environment. So you can simply use that import export utility of PDC. So when we use that utility, we can export the pricing from PDC and then import into another environment. We will look into those details in another video. I just want to show the different offers available. Discount is little more complex compared to the pricing. There will be discount trigger discount master, discount share. Uh, there are few more settings that we need to make sure that we configure while configuring a discount offer. Otherwise, the discounting will not be completed. We will look into the discounts in another video. Before going to the discounts, I would like to show the service event map that we discussed earlier. So we need to first load this service event map in BRM, and then we will be able to see the services and corresponding events. Let's look at the wireless voice. So wireless voice have annual, bi-monthly cancellation fee, discounts, folds, recurring charges, all type of recurring charges, as well as purchase fees. So we will be able to apply all these type of charges to the voice service. So you should name these as events and this as a service. That is how we will define it in BRM. Similarly, you have it for SMS, and all services will have these events. So if we don't want to provide certain, let's say I don't want to have a purchase fee for voice, so we can remove this from the voice service. So if we want to add new, we can also add new from here. Uh, that's also possible. But first, if you want to create a new service, then we should load it in BRM. Create a PODL, load it, and then create the service event map and load it and so on. Then we can add it here. So BRM is the first place to maintain the service event maps. And then look at the zone models. So zoning is mainly when there is roaming concepts, national or international roaming. What will happen when customers calls to the other countries? How much charges? So those zoning will be defined here. Based on this zone, either batch rating pipeline or ECE is going to apply the charges. Next is the impact categories. So impact category is the one that is going to impact the charges as well. Let's say friends and family. So friends and family, if we select as an impact category, then those charges are going to be based on this impact category. We will discuss in depth, or we will create based on the impact category. By using one of these impact category, we will create a product and see how this impact category is going to derive the price. So those things we can look into. And special day calendars is like a time model where we will be able to define special day calendars, like certain on a certain day what will happen. Let's say we don't want to charge the customers for any calls made on a specific day, then this special day calendars will be helpful. And then the time model that we discussed earlier, based on certain time of the event. Let's say I make a phone call during the night time, then how much charge should be applied to that? So those kind of scenarios can be handled during the handled using the time model. There are certain other things as well, like charge selector, generic selector, price selector, a discount selector, USC and APN. So charge selector is used in some cases when the charge should be applied only in specific scenarios, like if the account belongs to a specific type or category, then only the charges should be applied. So let's say for if there are 10 categories we define for the customer, then all 10 categories should have a different value of the price. Then this chart selector will be helpful. We will create all these in another video. For now, I just want to show how the PDC looks like, and all the different configurations that we have in PDC. In the next videos, we will try to create one by one, and then try to apply that in BRM and see how those charges are going to impact the customer's invoice and so on. That's it for today. Thank you very much. Have a good day.